Hello again, elumeNATION. So we've all been in that spot where we walk into a room and we've forgotten why we went in there in the first place. I think I did that earlier today. And then there's that moment when you're striding confidently into the room and you actually realize that your reason for going there is missing. Why did I come in here again? I find myself saying that a lot. For me, when that moment happens, I usually find myself actually freezing in place and my eyes sort of start like laser dancing around the room, trying to see if I can find a clue for my purpose. I feel my brain trying to start back up from autopilot and return the missing pieces, I feel like starting like a pickup truck that was maybe made in the 1950s that is in February in Minnesota. And if I'm lucky and the pickup truck starts, I'm rewarded with a little pop of insight. The pieces come back together and I remember my purpose for going in that room. Now, imagine that moment never happens. You went looking for something and you forgot what you were looking for, but you never realized that you forgot it. You walked into that room, lost your purpose, and then lost your memory of ever having that purpose. If someone asked you if you forgot something, your honest answer would be, of course not, because you forgot that you forgot something. Is your head spinning yet? The phenomenon I'm describing is a medical condition, and its name is anosognosia. Anosognosia looks to most of us like plain old denial and stubbornness. What it actually is the inability of the mind to make a new self-image to track the body. For instance, if you're healing from a cut, you'd check your mind's self-image from today against the old one to see how the healing process is going. With anosognosia, there's no image to check against. So we couldn't look at a past version of ourselves and realize that there was a problem or how it's progressing. Denial is a rejection of reality, but anosognosia is a removal of reality. A person with anosognosia simply can't recognize a problem. It's a really interesting phenomenon, and it can manifest itself in different ways. However, we're looking at it from the perspective of a person who might have dementia. If you're a caregiver, you've probably struggled with frustration over your loved one's inability to understand that there's even a problem. It's obvious, right? They even admitted it a second ago, but now they're denying that they left the stove on, hit the fence with the car, or forgot to take their meds for 3 days straight. We have evidence. We have video, and still they deny. So the question arises, can it be anosognosia? The answer is, that's quite likely. Studies show that about 80% of people with Alzheimer's disease have anosognosia. This conversation brings me back to a really hard day, the day when I had to take the car keys away from my mom. She'd gotten lost in our city on a major street, and I had to come find her. When I did, she was a wreck, sobbing. She was saying terrible things about herself and calling herself stupid. And it was awful. It was one of the worst moments of my life. But I got her calmed down, assessed her, and decided the best course of action was to lead her back as the pilot car to her home. By the time we got back, I was completely gobsmacked to see a different person emerge from her vehicle. She didn't understand why I made such a big deal about it, and she knew exactly where she was the whole time. The worst parts of that incident had just vanished, at least for her. I was aware of this phenomenon when that happened, but I admit I was surprised by just how completely a really traumatic experience could vanish over the course of a few minutes for her. Struggling with feeling like someone is just being difficult can be so demoralizing. Anosognosia is, like dementia, difficult to treat and incurable. The brain has somehow been damaged or has degenerated, and there's just not a way to fix that yet. However, if we adjust our perspective and better understand the struggle that our loved one is facing, we can realize that it's not personal, that it's beyond our loved one's control, and that we can adapt effectively to create better outcomes. All right, elumeNATION. If this was helpful, click on the like button, and you can subscribe to this channel for more insights, information, and support. elumeNet has also just started publishing our weekly newsletter on dementia, and you can subscribe using the link in the description. Thanks, everyone, and I'll see you next time. The phenomenon I'm describing is a medical condition, and its name is anosognosia. The phenomenon I'm describing is a medical condition, and its name is anosognosia. The medical condition I'm describing is anosognosia. The medical condition I'm describing is anosognosia. A person with anosognostica. A person with anosognostica. A person with anosognosia. A person with anosognosia